morning's Dragons are still playing winning football, and New York is poised for their 5th postseason appearance in the last 6 years. The Dragons host the Grand Rapids Rampage, who have never in their history lost a game in New York State. And their head coach, Sparky McEwen, has no intention of snapping that streak. Rampage, Dragons, next. Welcome to Uniondale, New York. We're inside the Nassau Coliseum to bring you Arena Football League action in prime time tonight. It's the New York Dragons hosting the Grand Rapids Rampage. Hi again, everyone. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Wayne Morris. Thanks so much for spending part of your weekend with us tonight. And Wayne, we're 9 games into the regular season here in the Arena League, and still we have 2 teams that are searching for themselves somewhat.
For very 2 different reasons. Grand Rapids, a lot of changes in the offseason, so a big struggle offensively at the beginning of the year. New York, it's been the injuries, losing 2 starting quarterbacks in 3 weeks down to their 3rd stringer.
And they have also lost some players defensively, and tonight they go up against one of the best 1-2 combinations at wide receiver in the league.
Anthony Hines, Simone Marshall, both in the top 10 of receiving. You're going to take a look at Anthony Hines first here. Great quickness, able to get down the field. He's doing a great job taking over for Aaron Bailey, who was the starting offensive specialist, been out several weeks with a neck injury. Simone Marshall does it all. A great all-purpose player, 2nd in the league in all-purpose yards. He's got great quickness, and the Dragons are going to have trouble tonight if they can't slow him down.
In the secondary, Timon Marshall provides teams all kinds of headaches, and based on the statistical numbers that these 2 players have put up so far this season, it certainly backs that up. The numbers for Hines: 70 catches, 893 yards, and 14 touchdowns. And Marshall, as you said, 2nd in the Arena League in all-purpose yards. Now, for the New York Dragons, Aaron Garcia, gone for the season. Justin Wood, gone for the season at quarterback. Normally, when you get down to your 3rd-string quarterback, they don't play as well as Nick Browder has.
But Nick Browder is an experienced veteran, 6 years in the league. He's familiar with Tony Kimball, having played for in Grand Rapids. He's doing a great job, Bob, taking care of the football. That's one of the things you worry about with a 3rd stringer. Only 2 interceptions on the year, and what he's doing, he's finding his stars. Kevin Swain, and right there, Mike Karalchek, who had a big game last week. But he's also doing this, moving in the pocket and taking care of the ball, diving into the end zone. He's got great feet, very, very good poise in the pocket. Again, an experienced player. You take a look at the rating, 117-1, 2 interceptions is the big key for Nick Browder.
Against 17 touchdowns, so obviously Nick Browder making a lot of the right decisions. When we return, the starting lineups and the kickoff, Arena League action coming up next on Fox Sports Net. Don't go away.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League, Champ Sports, where sport lives.
In competition, injuries happen. It's part of the game. And to get back your level of performance takes a lot of hard work, discipline, and the best health care. Health South is the nation's leading provider of outpatient diagnostic, surgery, and rehabilitation services. So we can help you get back fast to the action, the competition, and the glory. We know your body. We understand your spirit. We get you back.
Aaron's sells more high-definition widescreen TVs than just about anybody else in America. It's the sign of a great deal. Aaron's has the widescreen and LCD flat-panel TVs that everybody wants, all at the price everybody wants, the guaranteed lowest price. Aaron's also sells brand-new, brand-name furniture, appliances, and computers at the guaranteed lowest price. No credit check and the most flexible payment plans. So picture yourself getting your next TV at Aaron's. Do the math. Nobody beats Aaron's.
Arena football, demonstrated by Kurt Warner and John Elway. Arena quarterbacks pass almost every play. Score so high you'll need oxygen. Running for the sidelines? What sidelines? Offense also plays defense. Oh, one more thing. The field, only 50 yards long.
The Arena Football League, Season 20. Now playing at an arena, television, or computer near you.
Quite a show put on moments ago as the teams introduced here at the Nassau Coliseum. And Bill Daughtry, the third member of our broadcast team, standing by downstairs. Bill?
Well, Bob, as you and Wayne were mentioning, the New York Dragons down to their third quarterback, Nick Browder, 2-1 as a starter, but their defense has also been a big part of their resurgence. Will Holder with 2 interceptions this year, and Mark Ricks with 2 interceptions. They'll be going against Hines and Marshall. Should be quite a matchup. Let's go back upstairs for the kickoff.
All right, Bill, thanks very much. The Dragons have won the toss. They will begin with the football, which means a short time from now, we'll see Nick Browder set to go. Actually, the Dragons defer, so it will be Grand Rapids starting with the football as Obert is set to kick off, and Timon Marshall is back deep to receive. The Dragons come into tonight's game at 5-4. They have alternated wins and losses over their last 7 weeks, and they are coming off a 54-48 win over Kansas City last week. On the flip side, the Grand Rapids Rampage at 3-6, 0-5 on the road, looking to break the ice away from home for the first time this year. And the ball takes a Dragons bounce and is kicked out of bounds by Marshall. So let's check the EA Sports starting lineups as the Grand Rapids offense takes the field. And for Grand Rapids offensively, Chad Salisbury gets the start, obviously at quarterback with Chris Avery in the backfield. Hines, Marshall, and Bush are the skill position players. Winfield, Garnett, Brian Shaw, and Tim Martin up front. Salisbury has played now for 5 different teams in the Arena Football League. At 6'6", he's the tallest quarterback in the league. And on first down, almost picked off by Mark Ricks. So the New York defensive specialist jumps up and breaks that play up. And let's check the defensive starters. Again, brought to you by EA Sports. For the Dragons, up front, Marcus Owen anchors the interior of the defensive line with Stacey Evans and Jamal Cherry. Delbert Cauzet with 4 sacks so far this season. Ricks, Shane Dennis, Will Holder make up the defensive backfield. On second down, flags fly, and a shame for the Dragons is reading that play perfectly and jumping up with an interception that will be waved off was Ricks. And already a conversation being had by Ricks on the far side.
There's a lot of talking going on the field, Bob, and close quarters. A lot of big hits. You saw right there, Angel Estrada, who had a big game last week, came in and put a lick on Josh Bush after the play, and you know, get a chance to see it. You see Rex picks the ball up, and here comes Angel Estrada. And Angel Estrada's been a big addition. He's been out with a shoulder injury for several weeks, and came back last week, had an interception and a fumble return, and he's a big addition to the secondary.
Named defensive player of the game last week. The Salisbury under pressure has one tipped. It falls incomplete, but another flag is down back at the line.
And this one came in the box. It can be a number of things.
And it is against New York.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Illegal defense against New York, automatic first down.
And what that was is an outside rush. If you are the middle linebacker, you have to go between the A gaps, which is between the center and the guard and center and the tight end. You cannot go outside the defensive end if you're a middle linebacker blitzing.
So Salisbury brings his team to the line as penalties have taken Grand Rapids out of the shadow of their own goalposts, and now he goes over the middle to Marshall for a gain of 8. Out very close to midfield to the 23-yard line. Ricks made the stop.
And Salisbury did a good job there. If Mark Ritz is going to give him a lot of cushion when he goes in motion, they're going to take that 5-yard stop. And remember, Marshall's a great returner, so if he gets that ball underneath, he can do a lot with it after the catch.
Marshall will be in the slot as Sparky McEwen, with a 7-18 record overall, has seen his team struggle mightily on the road. They come to the near side to Anthony Hines instead for an easy first down pickup as he's bumped by Will Holder. But Salisbury is now taken over, again playing for his 5th different AFL team. And so far this season, he's thrown now for 1,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 5 or more touchdowns in 6 of his last 7 starts. So he has been productive. But they are still a team that has struggled mightily to win away from home. 0-5 on the road. And it's now 1st and 10 at the Dragons' 20. Salisbury lobbing one, and with a step and a layout for a catch and a touchdown is Josh Bush. Well, that is the 3rd member of this trio, and Wayne, usually the last of the 3 that you would be worried about, but he's streaked up the right sideline for the game's first score.
And Josh Bush doing a good job taking advantage of Angel Estrada out there on the wide side of the field. Angel peeking in the backfield and got caught. And Josh Bush, you saw the fine athletic ability laying out for that ball. And he's been around for a while, and he's an experienced player, and he brings that experience on the field. And, you know, in this league, you got your guys who play offensive specialists and step up, and you got the role players, and he's one of those very good role players.
Peter Martinez knocks the extra point through, and it's 7-0 Grand Rapids. So on the first possession of the game, early penalties against the Dragons and a late burn by Josh Bush.
From the man who brought fantasy to life comes a hair product born into reality. Beauty has a face, perfection a name. And now, you can experience a shampoo worthy of only one man's name.
Life comes at you fast. Ready for retirement? Get ready with Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
The winter sports season is here, and athletes from Michigan and Michigan State battle for bragging rights and the coveted Challenge Cup. Receive weekly updates on a special edition of the Detroit Sports Report. Saturday at 9 on FSN Detroit.
X marks a daring pursuit of the unknown. Unpredictable. Unforgettable. X marks questions that need to be explored. Stories that need to be told. X marks the destination for adventures so gripping you never let go. X marks Explorer. Sundays. Only on the National Geographic Channel. Dare to explore.
NASCAR fans, climb in and buckle up as FSN takes you around the track. Sunday at 10:30, get the final results, highlights, and interviews of the big race. Go around the track. Sunday at 10:30 right here on FSN Detroit.
The Rampage lead the Dragons 7-0 on a quick strike.
Yeah, you see Salisbury coming into your living room right there. Look at the layout for Josh Bush. Takes out our cameraman. Working overtime down there. You can see a good job. Gets the right knee and the left knee in. And, of course, in arena football, you only need 1 foot in bounds. But Josh Bush laying out.
Or our camera woman, as the case may be. There should be hazard pay involved here at FSN. 7-0. Grand Rapids with the lead. 11:08 to go here in the first quarter. Martinez set to kick off, and back deep to receive Maurice Brown for New York. A rookie from Iowa that has filled in nicely with Swain, Dennis, and Horacek in the receiving corps for New York. And now with a burst, gets to midfield, maintains his footing down the sideline, finally down at the 15-yard line of Grand Rapids. As Josh Bush made a touchdown-saving tackle, but New York in business inside the 15-yard line.
And Maurice Brown, he doesn't get to do this quite often, but what he does do very well is run after he gets the ball in his hands. He's a very strong runner, Bob, and you see right there, able to keep his balance. And all he needed was one more block and didn't get it.
Let's check our EA Sports starting lineups as Nick Browder, the starting quarterback, brings his team to the line. Swain, Dennis, and Horacek, the key receivers, with Cherry, Owen, and Evans, along with Cowsett, making up a 4-man rotation up front. On first down, they try to feed Maurice Brown, and he almost made a one-handed catch on the near sideline. There's another flag down. Back to the line.
Offside defense, 37. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Johnny Harris lining up in the neutral zone, trying to get a press on Mike Horacek on the outside. Johnny Harris, a former AFL Defensive Player of the Year back in '98, former Oakland Raider. their experience in the secondary. You know, Grand Rapids coming in this game, 15 interceptions, which is tied for the league in the Arena Football League, so they can take the ball away, and that's one thing Browder's going to have to be careful with.
1st and 5 at the 11. Browder maintaining his composure in the pocket, looking in the back of the end zone for Horacek, and a flag down. Horacek was one-on-one against Bush.
Pass interference defense, number 4. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So it will be 1st and goal for New York. And now the EA Sports starting lineups for Grand Rapids on defense. The man they certainly have to worry about up front, Winfield Garnett, 4 sacks, and he is the team leader in that category. In the defensive backfield for the Rapids, anchoring it, as you mentioned, Johnny Harris, a 2-time AFL first-team selection with Damian Porter and Marvin Taylor as well. So now it's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Brown, the motion man. Browder swamped under and sacked. Had nowhere to go. Tim Martin picks up the sack, a 2-yard loss. It will be 2nd down and goal.
And Browder looking downfield. Grand Rapids playing a little zone in the end zone, which you don't normally see. They will run a lot more games in the secondary, Bob, than most teams do around the league. And Browder got sacked for the 27th time this season. The Dragons giving up the most sacks in the league, and that was a problem early on. Sort of tapered off in the middle of the season. They've been doing a good job in recent weeks in protecting the quarterback.
Kevin Swain gets the head start. Browder pumps in the back of the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Maurice Brown dragging his way across the back of the chalk. So Brown starts the drive with the kickoff return and finishes it with the touchdown catch. And the Dragons an extra point away from tying the game.
And this is what Browder has been doing so well. Moving in the pocket. You're going to see he's looking for a receiver, and then he steps to his left. But the whole time his head is downfield. And look at the nice catch along the end line by Maurice Brown, able to get the feet in. And that's what Browder has done successfully week in and week out since he's been back in the league. Has been able to move in the pocket, which show that poise, which is unique for a guy who hadn't played in a while.
Jesse Obert, who has had an outstanding rookie kicking season out of Dayton, on to attempt the extra point, and he puts it through. And we are now tied at 7 as Crowder off to an excellent start. 18 touchdowns this year against only 2 interceptions. We're tied at 7.
I woke up in the middle of the night, terrified. Someone tried to come in my house. Fortunately, we had an ADT security system.
Mrs. Parker, this is ADT. We're receiving an alarm. Are you all right?
Yes, we're okay. I'm glad ADT was there, watching out for my family.
Don't take chances. Take control of your family's safety with ADT, America's #1 security company. Call now and save up to $200 on ADT protection packages. ADT, always there.
Bud Light Daredevil. Today for a Bud Light, I'll attempt a stunt that no man should ever perform. I'll go shopping with my girlfriend during today's game.
This stuff is so cute. I'm gonna go try it all on.
Hey, time! Yeah! Oh, he's down! Oh. Can you hear me? Everybody focus! All right, get it all. Clear, clear. Who's winning?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Maurice Brown with his 8th touchdown catch of the season as he makes up a very formidable New York Dragons receiving core, and he is probably the 4th option in that receiving core, and he makes the 2 big plays to start off tonight's game.
And this team is very deep in the receiving area, and they have another player who was 3rd on the team last year receiving Chris Anthony, who's been in and out of the lineup all season long, so they haven't had him at their disposal. And Will Holder was their 3rd leading receiver last year, and he's switched over to the defensive side full time.
Timon Marshall just about forgot the football, and now heads up the sideline and is brought down by the kicker Obert. So Jesse Obert with a tackle, at the 15-yard line. And the Rampage with 7:54 to go here in the first quarter will have the football with decent field position, tied at 7.
And kickers in this league have to make up week in and week out. It's not like the outdoor game or the stadium game. They get a couple of tackles in every now and then, but with so many kickoffs and so many opportunities to make plays, you got to have a kicker who can bring a guy down. And talking to Over during the week, he told me he was going to force a couple of fumbles tonight, so we'll see where that takes us.
Well, Chad Salisbury off to a great start. He had a long touchdown pass on the first possession of the game, and he will try once again. Underthrown his receiver significantly, though, as Anthony Hines ran a go, and Salisbury expected a comeback. And right now, it's time to check in with Bill Daughtry, my favorite part of the evening. Bill?
Yeah, Bob. The Rampage also down to their third-string quarterback, Chad Salisbury, chatting with his head coach right now. He's 3-4 with the Rampage as a starter, has thrown for 14 touchdowns against the Dragons, trying to guide Grand Rapids to their first road win. Sparky McEwen, the head coach, he's got just 9 players returning from last year's squad, so he's got what we would all consider a new team, guys.
Salisbury once again going for it all, and that's an easy pass interference call as Mark Ricks simply reached out and grabbed the jersey of Anthony Hines. And it looks like Ricks may have been hurt. It looks like he is grabbing the inside of his left leg, and I think he came up lame and probably figured, I'm hurt, and let me try and save what will be an easy touchdown as we check the call.
Defense, number 17, intentional pass interference. That's a spot foul, automatic first down.
And normally pass interference is just yardage, but as you heard the official, the intentional right there, he gets turned around and just reaches out. And the sad part about it is the ball was out the back of the end zone. He might have had a chance to catch it, but and you can see right there, right on top of it, Bob, he was holding, looked like a groin. So we'll have to keep an eye on Mark Ricks.
He's staying in the game. He stays on the field in spite of the fact that he was beaten easily on that last play and looked to grab his left leg immediately afterwards. Bullet pass in the back of the end zone, intercepted off the net. And Ricks, opportunistic after giving up the pass interference penalty, comes up with the game's first turnover as he limps away from the football. And again, it's a live ball, whether it's kicked or thrown off the net behind the end zone. So an interception thrown by Salisbury, taken by Ricks, and the Dragons have the ball back.
And this is one of the dangers. He was beat when Tamar Marshall had the inside, and he got away with a grab there again. And the ball came right back to him. And you never quit on a play, especially with a ball thrown into the end zone in the middle of the field, because the nets are in play. And you can see right there he's limping. He's struggling right now. But in this league, you got to stay in there as a defensive specialist because of the substitution rules.
So Nick Browder now back in from his own 4-yard line. To the near side to Kevin Swain. And the former New York Jet gets into the open field, across midfield, and into Rampage territory. Although you have to wonder what Salisbury was thinking about with that last throw. I mean, that ball was 4 or 5 feet up into the net, which means he overthrew his intended receiver by about 10 feet.
And they got Timon at 5'10", but, standing next to him on the field, I have to question that a little bit. So, and the ball just seemed to get away from him, and that's the danger. And as a receiver, you can never give up because the ball comes off the net. You got to turn into the defender and try to knock it down, although it came off the iron pretty quick and didn't really have a chance.
So Kevin Swain off to a good start for New York as well. He has been Dragons property all 6 years of the franchise's existence here on Long Island. Back to throw Browder, and once again sacked for the second time here in the first quarter. He goes down. Once again, Tim Martin involved, as it might be a sack that gets split 3 ways. Winfield Garnett was there as well.
And that was one of those deals. You're talking huddle, meet me at the quarterback, and see Martin right there gets the edge, gets down low, and Garnett came across the top, so Browder didn't have a chance. As soon as he got back on that back foot, trying to push off and deliver the football, they didn't really have a chance.
That was probably Tito Simpson, after all was said and done, picking up the sack. So a loss of 8 yards. Second down and a little over 17. They flip one to Horacek, and he comes very close to the first down sticks, diving down the boards on the far side. Depends on the spot, and not a very friendly spot for the New York Dragons, at least a yard shy, although it looked as if Horacek, when he laid out on that dive and picked up the first down, he's a good 2-yard shy.
I know it's hard to see, but there is a white line painted at the base of the boards, and what the ref's saying is that he did step on the line right there when he dove, and it was a good call. You can see it right there on our replay. So, but Mike Horacek's having a terrific season. The effort has been there. He started his career as an offensive specialist, but on this team, he had to go to two-way with Kevin Swain, and he's been playing great defense and all-around football.
3rd down and a yard. Back to throw again is Browder. Steps up, back of the end zone for Swain. And that ball live off the rebound net once again, almost intercepted by Harris, and a flag down back at the line.
We get a hold on Marcus Owen, the center, number 66. But again, you can see Browder doing a great job moving in the pocket and keeping his head up and trying to find a receiver, and just out of the reach of Kevin Swain.
6 offense, holding, 10 yards, repeat 3rd down.
Now, oftentimes in the National Football League or in college football, the outdoor game, you might decline the penalty and set up 4th down. But since there is no punting in this league, and you know the team is going to go for it, it's probably a higher percentage play to set up 3rd down and 11 than it would be 4th down and 1, correct?
Yeah, absolutely right. It's two down territory in any part of the field when you hit 3rd down.
Horacek gets the head start. 4-man rush. Browder sacked again, and no doubt about it, it was Tito Simpson that time.
He just absolutely ran over Troy Pelchak on his way to the quarterback. And right now, the protection is a problem. You see the left of your screen, he just pushes Pelchak out of the way, and Browder doesn't have a chance.
So now Jesse Obert, 5 of 9 in field goal attempts so far this season, will be coming on to try a long one. 42-yard field goal attempt for Jesse Obert. Again, there's no punting in arena football, so on 4th down and long, you are forced basically to try a long field goal attempt, and it just misses. Of course, it is returnable. And here comes Marshall. Run out across the 5 and driven down on the far side by Lodano. No flag came out. Marshall took exception to the hit by Lodano. We are tied at 7. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first.
Hey, what's up?
EA Sports, Arena Football, rated E10 for ages 10 and up. EA Sports, it's in the game.
The Arena Football League presents the 20 Greatest Highlights Countdown. Number 11. In 2001, New York Dragons quarterback Aaron Garcia enjoyed a prolific passing day against the Carolina Cobras. Garcia completed 27 of 37 passes for 378 yards as the Dragons scored 99 points. Garcia and prime target Kevin Swain seemed unstoppable as Aaron set his sights on a milestone mark.
Going to the end zone for the record. There it is. Touchdown for Aaron Garcia. His 11th touchdown pass of the day. A new Arena Football League record. And for Kevin Swain, his 7th touchdown reception of the day.
Final score, New York Dragons 99, Carolina Cobras 68. But the moment belongs to Aaron Garcia of the Dragons. Tune in again next week as the AFL 20 Greatest Highlights Countdown continues.
Bob Wischusen, Wayne Morris back at the Nassau Coliseum. Arena Football on FSN. The New York Dragons and Grand Rapids Rampage tied at 7, closing in on the end of the first quarter. As a moment ago from 42 yards away, Jesse Obert missing a field goal. So now it goes back over to Chad Salisbury and the Rampage from their own 7-yard line. Anthony Hines in motion. It's a dump off on the far side, and that is a load to catch the football. And Chris Ryan, 6 foot, 320-pound fullback, and he picks up 2 yards.
Let me tell you what, I feel for Mike Horacek because I played that spot. And your job is to sit in that box, but also to cover the tight end or the fullback if they try to throw these screens. And that's a load. So you better get him before he turns around. You catch that ball, try to get him low. Otherwise, he might as well jump off for a ride. He is a mass of humanity, and he's got good feet, and that makes it even scarier because he can move a little bit.
Well, Chris Ryan has rushed for more touchdowns than any Arena Football League player since the year 2000. Once again, going for it all was Salisbury, a bump by Will Holder as he shaded off Anthony Hines. Close to pass interference as we close in on 1 minute remaining in the quarter.
And I think there was a little confusion between Anthony Hines and Salisbury. I think Salisbury wanted him to go more down the field, and Hines broke that off a little bit. Because of the angles, Bob, what you got to do, you may call a corner route, but depending on where the defender is, you might break that off flat or take it straight to the pylon, and you saw him in between. And that's the one thing you don't want to be as a receiver, is in between.
3rd down and 7. Salisbury over the middle. The catch made, a first down for Anthony Hines. Out to midfield, tripped up by Holder. Well, that's the intermediate route that they have seemed to go away from for the most part here in the first half. They've thrown a ton of deep balls and every now and then a dump off, but working the middle of the field has not really been the priority for Grand Rapids.
Sorry, Bob. That's what they'll do. You know, they'll take chances down the field depending on where they are, and you know, New York's giving them those opportunities. They're not playing a lot of zone. They're playing some close coverage, and you're going to take some shots down the field.
And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Off to a good start, a tight one. Tied at 7 after 1 quarter of play on Long Island.
Why are so many people switching to Centennial? Well, for honest advice from our blue shirt advisors and great offers like this.
Now from Centennial Wireless, every day brings a new chance to win great prizes. Text the word Nokia to 4946 for a chance to win weekly grand prize vacation packages worth $3,000. Plus, each time you text, you'll be entered to win daily prizes, like a Nokia phone or free airtime minutes. Only at Centennial Wireless. Relax.
Just need more power in the lineup. You know?
You just don't chase sliders in the dirt.
The best place to talk sports is coming. Look for Coors Light's Refresh Fan Forum at a bar near you.
Today's lunch is shrimp poppers, corn muffin, or
taco chalupa. Set up pick and roll on this side with a double screen.
Yes, stamp back of 1765. You can tell me what they tax the colonists on.
Here. No en mi casa. I made a 2003 WNBA championship trophy.
I made a penguin.
All right, this is for free.
You're not really in 5th grade.
Right now, as members of Best Western Speed Rewards, stay 6 and earn a free night and earn points towards exclusive NASCAR licensed merchandise. Join today at bestwesternracing.com/free night.
You're watching FSN.
Next. The AFL on FSN is presented by ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader. By Health South, getting you back to work, to play, to living. And by Aaron's. Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership. Nobody beats Aaron's. Nobody.
And the Dragons' protection problems continue. Giving up the most sacks in the league. You're going to see Tito Simpson, Garnett, they getting the job done right here. That was Tim Martin. And then on this play right here, Browder can't get away. Doesn't even have a chance. That's Simpson. And the troubles continue. Again, Simpson again doing a great job. That time came with the bull rush. And Nick Browder has got great mobility, but Bob, when you don't even have a chance to set up, it's kind of hard to move around that pocket. And even the great running quarterbacks in professional football get sacked a lot because that protection's got to be there.
3 first quarter sacks for Grand Rapids. And again, a bit of a miscommunication as Salisbury went down the field. And Josh Bush broke off his route, so it will be 2nd down and 10 as we are just underway here at the start of the second quarter, tied at 7.
And that time he was trying to get Anthony Hines, but had to pull the ball down because Rich McCleskey got in his face, and I think he was trying to throw that one away. And that's one of the great things as a quarterback in arena football is that it's not very far to the sidelines, to the stands, and you can put that ball in the stands and not get called for a penalty.
Hines will circle around in motion and get the head start coming into your picture. And he takes the hit right over the middle. Stiff-arming a man and gets run into the boards by Deshane Dennis. Picks up a first down.
And you can see Dennis is back in the middle of the field. He was the starting defensive specialist as the season opened, went out with an injury. And we talked about Mark Ricks coming up lame on that pass interference penalty. He is out of the game right now. So Deshane Dennis going back to the defensive specialist position for the Dragons.
So that sets up first down and goal at the 9-yard line after the completion to Josh Bush. Hines in motion. It's a handoff instead. And several New York Dragons end underneath Chris Ryan. And that is a bad place to be as he is up trying to pave the way. Brian Shaw helping to block as well, and that's a 290-pound center and a 320-pound fullback coming up the middle.
And that was Richard McCleskey coming in low to middle linebacker. You know, you're taught with those big guys to try to take them down low, but the problem is, I mean, you look at his legs, and he's just huge, and he's got good feet. He's able to get up to speed very quickly, so it's very difficult to get him down.
This time Marshall in motion. A lob in the back of the end zone. Will Holder there with excellent coverage as he was step for step with Timon Marshall.
That's what we call running the route for the receiver. He was right as soon as Marshall broke, Holder broke right with him, was right on his hip, and could have made the play for the football. And for Grand Rapids, Salisbury did a good job. I think he was trying to put that one as wide as he could because he realized Marshall was not open. That's a good job by a veteran, not trying to force the ball, especially at this part of the field where they've struggled all season long inside the 10.
So a big play now, third down and goal at the 7. Hines in motion. They swing it out on the far side, and what a tackle made by Horacek in the open field as he does indeed bring down Chris Ryan. And Bill Daughtry is standing by downstairs with an injury report. Bill?
Yes, guys, Mark Ricks is expected back as you saw him come up lame on that play late in the first half on the pass interference. And on the very next play, picks the ball off, but Ricks is expected to return to action for the Dragons.
All right, Bill, thanks very much. That tackle by Horacek, and an impressive one it was, sets up fourth down and goal, and it will be a field goal opportunity.
Well, that's what I was talking about. You got to get the big man before he's able to turn upfield, and that's what Horacek did. He went around the neck and surprisingly got him down right away.
Martinez with a short field goal attempt, and it is good. He is now 10 for 19 so far this season, and the Rampage take a 3-point lead, 10-7 over New York with 11:33 remaining before halftime.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
Thank you for calling ADT Security Services.
I just wanted you to know that security system saved me twice.
You all have given me peace of mind.
I tell everybody I see, get an ADT security system.
Like these customers and millions more, you'll feel more secure with ADT in your home. ADT can help protect your family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save up to $200 on an ADT protection package. You may even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
Hey, the guys are coming over to watch a game. Aren't you worried about them drinking all the Bud Light?
Not to worry. Look what I had installed.
Secret revolving wall. Dude, you're a genius.
Guys, hurry up! The magic bridge is back!
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Magic fridge. Magic fridge.
Bob Wischusen, Wayne Morris back
on FSN. Grand Rapids with a 3-point lead. In a moment, it will be Nick Browder getting the football back for New York. They trail by 3, and there have been protection problems in the first half for the offensive front of the Dragons. They've given up 3 sacks on the first 3 possessions. Martinez to kick off. Maurice Brown deep to receive, and Brown fields it in front of the rebound net and has a lane. Makes a move at midfield, and he might be gone. Brown will coast for a touchdown. That's the second kickoff in the first half that Brown has brought back for big yardage, and it's the second time that Martinez failed to reach the net with his kickoff. And boy, it makes a return man's life, Wayne, it seems a lot easier when he doesn't have to worry about a rebound.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And you put this one squarely on Martinez's back, because not only does he miss the tackle here, but you mentioned that's getting the net is your primary responsibility as a kicker. You know, long field goals, you're very rarely going to get those in this league because of the uprights and the crossbar, but getting the net is an absolute must, and kickers have been cut because they haven't been able to reach the net.
Obert on to try and tack on the extra point. It is good.
You know, in a stadium game, Bob, you have a long ways to get a running start, but in this game, you need the ball off the net because things happen so quickly and seams opens up so quickly, and this one was easy. I mean, he did not even get touched from end zone to end zone, and that usually doesn't happen.
And fans, you might see that on AFL Weekly if you tune in each week. AFL Weekly comes your way Mondays at 3:30 on FSN. It's a must-watch for every AFL fan. The only place where you can get highlights of every game every week. Join Dave Benz and Howard Griffith for the most comprehensive look at AFL football. Again, AFL Weekly, Mondays at 3:30 on FSN. Well, you don't need much protection for Nick Browder. If you bring back the kickoff for a touchdown, the quarterback doesn't have to worry about keeping his jersey clean, as now Grand Rapids will have a chance to retake the lead. 10.5 minutes to go before halftime, and the Dragons have a 14-10 advantage.
And the league wanted more of this. They made some rule changes in the offseason. You no longer can kick the ball over the net like a lot of kickers were doing to stop the returns. To make it fair, they've changed some of the substitution rules. You can have free substitutions, so you don't need to have those big guys running down. You can put anybody in the game at that point to cover kicks. So they wanted to make the actual kickoff even more exciting than it has been over the previous 19 years. So they've done a great job of keeping this part of the game very active.
And if you are a kicker, to make sure fans are clear on the rule, and you do kick it over the net accidentally, it's possession out to the 20-yard line, is that correct?
That's correct, which is equivalent to the 40-yard line in a stadium game.
And you know how many NFL special teams coaches will talk about it being just a sin for a kicker in the NFL to kick the ball out of bounds without even giving your team a chance, as this will go for a touchback out to only the 5, flag down, as Marshall was forced to step out of the back of the end zone as Obert put it right through the uprights.
And this is going to be interesting because on any kick off the net, you have to be outside the 5-yard line before the ball makes contact. You can't get in until the ball makes contact.
And they actually picked the flag up.
So
no foul on the play.
And you very rarely see it on a kickoff because the coverage guy's got a long way to run. But when the ball hangs up in the net, you got to hang out outside the 5 to give him a chance to return.
And here is the Shut Sports Top 12 poll voted on by the AFL Writers Association.
Testing.
And the New York Dragons at 5 and 4.
Slack net. There was no foul on the play.
In with a group of teams at 5 and 4, voted on as the 11th team though in the league, so the weakest of all the 5 and 4 teams. And over the middle, a short hop as Will Holder had it fall right between his legs, and it looked as if Josh Bush just stopped his pattern, as if Southburg was expecting him to continue a crossing route. He simply stopped.
Hey, it looked like Bush, he saw Holder out in the corner of his eye, getting ready to cut off his route, and didn't react well to it. As a receiver, you got to fight through that route and keep on, because your quarterback's trusting that you're going to continue to cross the middle of the field.
Second down at 10. Movement in the line. Flags fly everywhere. And this will be offsides against New York. So the Dragons have hurt themselves with penalties here in the first half.
Contact, number 66 on the defense. 5 yards, still second down.
That's Marcus Owen.
And defensive coaches go crazy over that, because you're the nose tackle and you're looking right at the football, and it's inexcusable for a nose tackle to jump off. You can't listen to that hard count by those veteran crafty quarterbacks. The ball's right there in front of you, and the defensive coaches they just go crazy when it happens.
5 penalties for 49 yards against New York here in the first half. There's still 9 minutes to go before halftime. And on the far side, a heavy hit laid on Anthony Hines by Deshane Dennis. After a gain of 4, it will be 3rd down and 1.
And that's a mistake by Hines because he's got 5 yards to the first down. He runs a route about 3.5, and he gets hit short of the first down. If you're a quarterback, you got to say, Anthony, you got to get the marker. I mean, it's a 3-step drop. It's called for a 5-yard route and ended up a little bit short.
So with the Dragons on top by 4, it's now 3rd down and a half yard. Chris Avery lines up as the back right behind Salisbury. He takes the handoff and flags her down again.
Tito Simpson getting a little anxious. Number 91, and finger pointing back and forth continues.
Well, let's get the penalty calls. It looks as if it's going to be against Grand Rapids. The conference continuing.
91 on the defense with an abrupt movement caused the offense to move. That 5-yard penalty will result first down.
Wow.
Another penalty against New York as we check in downstairs with Bill Daughtry.
And we're standing by Brown, who had the great run back. What happened on that play when he missed the net?
I caught the ball, and if a returner goes untouched, then I got to give credit to all my blockers up front.
That second one you almost broke. You almost broke the first one tonight.
Almost broke the first one when somebody clipped my heel. But, I mean, we're doing all right now. We just got to stay in the game and stay focused.
All right. Thanks a lot. Back upstairs, guys.
All right, Bill. And a 7-yard gain by Marshall as he slants inside, tripped up by Horacek. But the Dragons have hurt themselves badly with penalties here in the first half, as they now have 6 penalties for 54 yards. And again, Wayne, this is only a 50-yard field. That would be the equivalent of the outdoor game of having over 100 yards worth of penalties in one half alone.
If they want to stay in this game, they have to correct those penalties, but also, Bob, the protection up front and start getting some pressure on Salisbury as well on the other side of the ball.
Hines gets the running start, holds up, makes the catch. That's good for a first down. Wrestled down by Deshane Dennis and Horacek as well. But now the controlled passing game for Grand Rapids, moving the chains.
And Sparky McEwen calls it, he's got a good system out in Grand Rapids, calls a great game. And, you know, if the defense is going to play soft and in certain situations, you're going to take smart quarterback's going to come off his number 1 route, the guy in motion, and come backside and look for those short gains, because Salisbury has guys that can run after the catch. And when you got those sort of weapons, you want to get the ball in their hands as soon as possible and make them go to work.
Tipped ball at the line. So it sets up 2nd down and 10 on the incompletion. What's the most difficult thing about playing defense in this league? I mean, particularly for the defensive specialists or the defensive backs. Those are the guys that come into focus more than any, because that's their job to chase these little guys all over the field.
Well, the tough thing is always going the guy in motion, because he's got a head of steam. And if you're playing man-to-man against a guy in motion and you're not getting a big pass rush, it allows the quarterback to stand up there and get a quick field of vision. And they do a lot of choice routes where they can go left or right on you, and it's very difficult.
Salisbury flicks one towards Bush, incomplete. And that sets up 3rd down and 10. And I would think in the arena game, because you only have 3 defensive backs, the linebackers are forced to stay in that box. It must be almost impossible to play zone. I mean, you must be able to isolate almost one entire half of the field, since whoever's playing safety in the zone is going to certainly shade one way or the other.
Well, you would think that the teams would play zone, but the teams do a lot of the zone coverages, bringing the safety up, dropping 2 guys deep, playing what we call double cloud, leaving the 2 corners short, sending the guy deep. The whole key with that is to get pressure so the quarterback can't find that open receiver.
On 3rd and 10, Salisbury, another tip ball at the line. Stacey Evans got a piece of that one, and that sets up 4th down. So the Rampage, trailing by 4, will now send the field goal unit out to go for 3.
And then pressure by the Dragons, and you're going to see Salisbury step up in the pocket, and the ball got tipped actually by Stacey Evans, number 99, and Salisbury not wanting to force the football, not trying to take off on the run. That's not his game. looking downfield at all times. Ball got tipped by Stacey Evans.
32-yard field goal attempt on the way, and it is no good. So New York will have the football in a 4-point lead when we return with 4:52 to go before halftime. Sparky McGinnis probably saying, how can I have a 6'6" quarterback having balls deflected?
We're tearing up the Motown sports scene.
FSN Detroit, the only sports network that puts Detroit fans first.
The Pistons are rolling right now.
The Detroit Sports Report, the nightly newscast dedicated to your hometown teams, scores, interviews, and highlights.
Ben Wallace has served notice.
It's time to fear the pro.
The Busch Light Detroit Sports Report, tonight at 10.
On the boards out there, guys. This is your territory, Grimson. Do your job.
Grimson. Hello? Hi, honey. What? Now? All right. The itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too, sweetheart. Hey, it's my girl. You know, my daughter.
Love. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
The Dragons lead the Rampage by 4, and more exciting AFL action on NBC on Sunday. The Chicago Rush travel to Orlando to take on the Predators, and the San Jose SaberCats host the first-place Arizona Rattlers. Check your local listings for game and time. And Peter Martinez upset at his last field goal miss. He is now 1 for 2 so far tonight with 4:52 to go before halftime. Grand Rapids with only 10 points on the board. Rampage are a team that averaged 48 points per game. They've scored 10 here in the first half. A quick hitch to Maurice Brown. Check that Swain. The short gain with 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
That's the first time they've gone to that. The Dragons like to use a lot of the short passing game. Brad will simply take one step from behind center, get the ball out there, out to the wide side to a receiver, and the two other receivers will get blocking out in front of them, but they haven't gone to a lot of that trips formation, so they haven't run that. They usually run that out of trips.
Swain will now circle around and go in motion. It's a wide receiver hitch this side to Horacek. And he picks up the first down easily with 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And it seems as if Mike Horacek has been as consistent a performer when healthy as you are going to find at his position in this league.
He's been a tremendous performer over the years, and again, I mentioned earlier, he was an offensive specialist in Iowa, and with Aaron Garcia out there, and both him and Kevin Swain are two offensive specialists, but Mike's been forced to play defense, and he's done a great job. So instead of having that one OS, you got two of them on the field, and they both at any time can win against anybody in this league.
Horacek, the motion man, a pump fake from Crowder. Wants it all for Horacek. Chip ball in the end zone.
Oh, wow.
Just about intercepted. And it is ruled as an interception. A turnover. Making the pick, Damian Porter, the defensive back, as he was one-on-one against Horacek and somehow managed to hold on after bobbling the football. So it goes over to Grand Rapids with 3:13 to go before halftime.
You see Mike Horacek breaking the route off, but the ball's thrown to the back corner, and this is a terrific catch right off the fingertips, and it's going to probably hit the wall, but that's still in bounds and makes a terrific interception.
The turnover, and Grand Rapids has it back.
Hey, what's up?
EA
Sports, Arena Football, rated E10 for ages 10 and up. EA Sports, the game.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
It's been a low-scoring first half. There have been sacks. There have been penalties. We've had several turnovers. One of the 3 touchdowns we've had scored here in the first half was on special teams. So only 2 offensive touchdowns scored in the first 27 minutes of action here at the Nassau Coliseum. Grand Rapids with the ball back. Back goes Salisbury. Sucked to the end zone. That's a safety.
We got to wait for the official because he took on the way down, it almost looked like he took the ball out of his hands, but the official was ruling a safety.
Bruce Blue, the rookie from West New Mexico, comes through and gets the 2-point score, and that puts the Dragons on top 16-10.
And he does a great job getting past the fullback clean, and right there, he took it away from him while he was on the ground, but there was a good call by the official. Bruce Blue just off the injured reserve this week, and before he went out on injured reserve, he was playing pretty well. And that's just a nice move right there at the point of attack.
With 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter, we continue to see a little bit of everything between the Dragons and the Rampage.
Official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League. Champ Sports, where sport lives.
Here in Vegas, the action's heating up at the Arena Football Celebrity Table.
Let's go, Coach. Hey, pipe down, poker brat. I bet 100. Make it 300.
He cannot do that.
Illegal procedure, Ditka.
What'd I do?
Personal foul, Ditka.
What are you talking about?
You're out of here. You're not.
This June, the AFL's championship game, Arena Bowl 20, is playing Vegas. Don't miss the party. For tickets, call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Go. Wait.
I'll give you security.
Chad Salisbury sacked a moment ago for the rare safety in the Arena League with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go before halftime. And in the foreground, Sparky McEwen, his head coach, not happy.
And he's telling him, son, throw the ball in the stands, and you can get rid of it. And then you mentioned how hard it is to get a safety, and that's why, because you can just throw it into the stands. As long as you get it past the line of scrimmage, you can put it up in the 5th row, give some young kid a nice souvenir to take home to mama.
And this has been danger zone as well as Martinez with a line drive that just does catch a piece of the net. Brown out after it. Instead, picking it up is Kevin Swain. And Swain with a good return. Ripped away. That's a loose football. Who's got it? New York. Angel Estrada was involved with Jerome Riley in a shoving match as the ball was loose on the turf. So New York narrowly avoids handing momentum right back to Grand Rapids.
And Joe Lodano was very alert, being able to jump on the ball. This is the second time this year Kevin Swain trying to fight for extra yards on a kickoff, fumbles the ball. You see Joe Lodano, and that's not where you want to be, Bob, is on the ground at the base of that wall with everybody piling on top of you.
So it's 1st and 10 New York with just over 2 minutes to go now before halftime. A quick dump off to Horacek, and he picks up 7 to midfield.
that was a good read by Nick Browder, because you saw your zone right there, Bob. Everybody was backing off. You saw Marvin Taylor giving the signals to safety position, and as soon as the ball snapped, everybody bailed out. And that was a good read by Browder, finding Horacek on the backside. And, you know, that's what the New York Dragons do to people. They have so many weapons on offense. They force teams to play real soft in the secondary, and if you're patient enough, you can work your way down the field, and just got to capitalize once you get inside the red zone.
Well, Nick Browder has been the starting quarterback since week 7. And he leans back and fires once again. This time finds Angel Estrada cutting across the middle, and that is good for a first down. With Aaron Garcia going down with a fractured tibia back in week 5, he was gone for the year. And then Justin Wood, the backup, a dislocated kneecap in the first quarter in week 7. He was lost for the year. In that very game that Wood was injured, Browder would come on and go 21 of 39 for 222 yards and 5 touchdowns against Austin in a 59-56 New York win. And he picked up his first win as a starter last week as the clock flicks all the way down.
1-minute timing rules in effect for the remainder of the second quarter. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. 3.
So the Dragons on top by 6, looking for more before halftime. And as we've seen so often in the arena game, Wayne, that the smaller field, the fact that there are different timing rules in the final minute, this last minute can be stretched out quite a bit. You could see fireworks in the last minute of the half.
Well, fireworks is usually what happens in the last minute. You'll see anything from onside kicks to net recoveries and just points being put up on the board.
There have not been many points put up on the board so far tonight, but New York has a 6-point lead.
Arena football, demonstrated by Kurt Warner and John Elway. Arena quarterbacks pass almost every play. Score so high you'll need oxygen. Running for the sidelines? What sidelines? Offense also plays defense. Oh, one more thing. The field, only 50 yards long.
The Arena Football League, Season 20. Now playing at an arena, television, or computer near you.
Hey, what's up?
EA Sports, Arena Football, rated E10 for ages 10 and up. EA Sports, it's in the game.
This year, the Arena Football League is celebrating its 20th season. And to our great fans everywhere, we've just got one thing to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
1 minute remaining in the first half here at the Nassau Coliseum, and coming up on the Champs halftime report, we'll have an interview with the coaches. Number 11 in our countdown of the AFL 20 greatest highlights and first half highlights from tonight's game. And there are some unwell fans on hand as mom and dad let the makeup loose for those young men. Dragons 16, Rampage 10, and New York with a first down at the Grand Rapids 19-yard line. It's a handoff, and with room to roam, Bruce Blue down the sideline. Touchdown!
And Bruce Blue showing a good feat that I talked about earlier, and he's having a nice return to the lineup. And that's a very long run for one of these fullback linebackers, Bob. I mean, and you don't see those long runs, and you see Waylon Harding very excited about the call. Tony Kimbrough doing an outstanding job. Simple inside handoff, breaks the tackle right there, and you see a good blocking downfield by Mike Horacek doing it all, and he gets into the end zone rather easily.
So Bruce Blue scores the touchdown on the ground, and also tacks on a safety as well, as now the extra point misses. Jesse Obert joints it off the upright, so it's a 12-point advantage for New York with 52.7 remaining.
And again, you see the blocking downfield, but just a very long run for Blue. Usually these guys are going to get the ball inside the 5, and most of their touchdown runs, he's excited. He's got the game face on. He's been talking about that all night.
So on back-to-back possessions, Bruce Blue accounting for points on defense and offense as he came up with the sack of Salisbury to force the safety, and now a touchdown run. Still plenty of time, though, for Grand Rapids. 52.7 seconds remaining in the first half, and they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
And a lot of teams around the league, what you see a lot down here is getting possession. So some teams might try an onside kick in this situation, even though you're up, because there is a lot of time. You don't want the opposition to run that clock down, and it goes back and forth. And that's the dynamic in that 1-minute mark. You see a lot of onside kicks, even though it's the first half in arena football, because they want to, almost like basketball, playing that 2-for-1 sort of game.
Obert's kickoff sails into the net. Bush with a problem handling it, trying to get out of the end zone now. Making Dragons miss. Finally corralled by Deshane Dennis at the 6. 47.6 seconds to go in the half.
And if you're Salisbury, you don't have to worry about rushing. You got all your timeouts left. Get out of bounds, stop the clock. Clock stops on incompletions and on penalties. So he's got plenty of time to get this ball in the end zone. And this is very important because the Dragons deferred, so they get the ball to start the second half. So if New York keeps Grand Rapids out of the end zone, they get the ball to start the half. They can open up a huge spread on the scoreboard.
Grand Rapids with only 10 points on the board. Salisbury to the near side, finds Hines. Knocked out. Only a few seconds come off the clock. Again, the clock stops inside of the last minute of each half. The old rule also had it stop on first downs. That has now been eliminated. The clock will run if you are tackled in the middle of the field after picking up a first down. But with all 3 timeouts remaining and all the other mechanisms they now have to stop the clock, it's all the time in the world for Grand Rapids.
And they can actually run the football in this situation as well and throw a couple of screens if they decide to.
Salisbury wants it all in one play. Down the sideline for Hines. Broken up. Deshane Dennis with a nice play defensively. And Anthony Hines is shaken up, holding the back of his left leg.
There's not a lot of cushion on that mat once you get out the back of the end zone, but Salisbury does a good job getting outside the pocket and throws a nice ball, and he just simply dropped that football, Bob. And you can see right there, he lands on that leg, on that knee. He's grabbing the back of the leg. It looks like it's going to be all right, but he dropped that football. That's a ball he should have caught, and that should have been a touchdown for Grand Rapids.
36 seconds remaining in the first half. 3rd and 6, and there's a first down. Timon Marshall to midfield. And a timeout called by Grand Rapids with 28.6 seconds to go in the half.
First team charge timeout. 30-second timeout.
Here's a play again. You can see Dennis in a chase position. And he gets an arm. It looks like he gets his right arm in there, but doesn't actually touch the football. And may have distracted Hines as he just flat out dropped the ball.
Well, Anthony Hines coming into tonight led the Rampage in touchdown catches with 17 touchdown catches on the year. And that's a ball that you would not expect him to drop often. So that was a dodged bullet for New York.
And if they could ever get back Aaron Bailey, I mean, Aaron Bailey caught 144 passes a year ago. If they could ever get him back, that pushes Anthony Hines back to the 2-way, and it makes this team even deeper at the receiving position.
Bush, the motion man. And wide open, Bush in the end zone for the touchdown. Will Holder lost his footing and lost Josh Bush. And the Rampage made that look awfully easy. And they are now an extra point away from making it a 5-point game.
And Josh Bush had a lot to do with Will Holder losing his footing. He put a nice move on him. He came in motion. He was going to the corner. And we're not going to see the move here, but you can see Holder trailing easy. And that's not, if Wayland Harding talked to his defense, that's not the way you want to give up points here inside of 1 minute. But for Grand Rapids, it puts them right back in the mix. And you might see them onside kick after this play.
The extra point put through by Martinez. The second touchdown catch of the first half for Josh Bush.
And again, this is a simple post route. He's coming from the outside, and Holder just got frozen by the move by Josh Bush, and it's the second touchdown of the game. And again, you only need 1 foot in bounds, and he's excited. And the reason why I say you might see an onside kick, because there's only 22 seconds left. Teams take chances. They'll kick off, try to get the ball back. If they give up a quick score, they come right back down in that little of a time. So much can happen within 22 seconds in this league, and it sounds crazy, but teams do it all the time, and because of the dynamics of New York taking possession in the second half, and a lot of those decisions will be made. Me personally, I hate the onside kick. I like to play defense. This year, we've seen more and more teams make stops, force turnovers, and I like to play defense, and I do not like the trend that's been going on around the league in the last couple of years with all the onside kicks.
Well, New York has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, so that turns 23 seconds into an eternity.
And you can see Spark McEwen, he knows it. He knows we left too much time on the clock. They can get this right back. And right now, I think what he's concerned with is Peter Martinez actually getting this ball off the net. His first 2 kicks didn't even make it. The last one was shanked. Yep, there's your onside kick.
And it's fielded a charity hop to Maurice Brown. He already has a kickoff return for a touchdown here in the first half. And he is out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So not only did you call the onside kick, but it seems as if you probably disagree with the results. The official goes over the boards, but he's a gamer. This is a hockey arena as well, so every now and then they have to act like hockey players. Knocked over the boards, jump right back in.
And you see the tail end of the onside kick, and there's the official. Wow, he threw himself over the boards.
Yeah, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying he was knocked over the boards. That was unfortunate.
Oh, and this official. And Mike Delaney, and if you followed the Arena Football over the years, last season Mike Delaney was doing a game down in Georgia, and one of the Georgia players celebrated, spiked the ball, and actually hit him in a spot where we wouldn't like to be hit.
Back to throw, Browder. Almost intercepted, intended for Horacek. Josh Bush was in position to possibly pick that one off. 12.4 seconds to go before halftime.
And he ended up on all the highlight reels that night. It's not exactly a shining moment.
The Dragons with a 5-point lead. Kevin Swain is the slot man. It will be Horacek in motion coming into the bottom of your picture. Now circling around. Browder wide open on the far side. Estrada run out to stop the clock with 6.3 seconds to go on the half.
Almost made a big mistake. Cut back in the middle of the field and decided it wisely to get back towards the boards, and he almost picked up the first down. He was a little short, so he could have had the first down, given him another shot here, but this is 3rd down, so Whaley Hart is going to be forced to make a decision after this play if they don't get in.
Timeout called by Grand Rapids.
30-second timeout.
Although for New York, with 6.3 seconds to go, there's not much of a choice to make. I don't know that you have time for more than one more play, depending on whether or not, if it's a quick hitter, certainly, it won't take 6.3 seconds, but any dancing in the pocket by Nick Browder, he could easily chew up the remaining time.
And he's got to be careful on that. If he doesn't see the first read, he's got to get rid of the ball, throw it into the stands. That's one of the things the coaches is telling him right now. Tony Kimbrell is telling him, if you don't have the first read, get rid of it, throw it in the stands, so at least we get the chance to make a decision to line up for 3 and kick the field goal.
So down in distance at this point, for the most part irrelevant. It's 3rd down at about a half yard. But 6.3 seconds to go in the second quarter. This might be the final play of the first half for New York. They have a 5-point lead. They come out of the timeout straight to the line. Swain in motion. Browder dancing in the pocket. Flips it in the back of the end zone for Swain. Caroming around, incomplete with .9 remaining.
Wow.
And the Grand Rapids Rampage are complaining. They thought that the first half clock should have expired. That will set up 4th down. And if that ruling stands on the field and .9 is indeed the remaining time, New York will have a chance for the field goal.
And keep in mind, the half will not be over until the play is ended, because if he misses this right or left, comes off the rebound nets, but the play still continues. Even though the clock goes and the horn's down, the Grand Rapids has an opportunity to run it back. So for New York, you got to make sure you cover. And for Grand Rapids, you got to be prepared to get the return going.
22-yard field goal attempt for Jesse Ober. And it's blocked. The play is alive. It's lateraled and still alive. And now a hit on the far side by Lodano to end the first half. So coming up, our halftime report. 22-17, the Dragons on top at the break. Stay with us. Arena Football on FSX.
In competition, injuries happen. It's part of the game. And to get back your level of performance takes a lot of hard work, discipline, and the best health care. Health South is the nation's leading provider of outpatient diagnostic, surgery, and rehabilitation services. So we can help you get back fast to the action, the competition, and the glory. We know your body. We understand your spirit. We get you back.
I woke up in the middle of the night, terrified. Someone tried to come in my house. Fortunately, we had an ADT security system.
Mrs. Parker, this is ADT. We're receiving an alarm. Are you all right?
Yes, we're okay. I'm glad ADT was there, watching out for my family.
Don't take chances. Take control of your family's safety with ADT, America's #1 security company. Call now and save up to $200 on ADT protection packages. ADT, always there.
Any Aaron Sales and Lease ownership store, and you'll find brand new, brand name furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. Always at the guaranteed lowest price, whether you buy or lease to own, and no credit checks. So, do the math. Nobody beats Aaron's.
Do the math.
Nobody beats Aaron's.
Welcome to the Champ Sports Halftime Report, the official athletic retailer of the AFL. Stop by your local Champ Sports store to hook up with the latest styles in footwear, apparel, accessories, and official AFL team gear. To find a store nearest you, log on to champsports.com today. 22-17, New York leading Grand Rapids at halftime. The third member of our broadcast team is Bill Daughtry, and he's sailing by with Waylon Harding. Bill?
Coach Waylon Harding, you've got the lead here at intermission. A sloppy finish to the half, but still you do have the lead. You've got to be happy about that.
Well, not too happy about our performance. We let some opportunities go. I mean, it's fortunate that we have the lead. I count us very fortunate right now to be in this situation. So we definitely got to tighten up the second half.
What are you going to tell your team in the locker room?
Tighten up.
Okay, Coach. Thank you. Guys?
All right, Bill, thanks very much. And Waylon Harding just looking for his voice at halftime as he was struggling to even get through the interview with Bill Daughtry, the life of a football coach. More of the Champ Sports Halftime Report in a moment.
Somebody loves me, I wonder who. Somebody loves me, could it be you? They sent me this diamond ring, shiny and bright. They sent me this diamond ring, such a pretty sight.
Call or go online today where you'll find great deals on Dell notebooks, like this awesome Dell Inspiron notebook with an Intel Celeron M processor with free internal wireless for only $449. It's the perfect balance of mobility, price, and productivity. Don't miss Dell's 10 days of deals. From March 31st through April 9th, you can get different deals every day on some of your favorite Dell products. Be sure to visit Dell.com every day for 10 days of unbelievable savings. It's more than an amazing deal, it's a Dell.
Just need more power in the lineup, you know?
You just don't chase sliders in the dirt.
The best place to talk sports is coming. Look for Coors Light's Refresh Fan Forum at a bar near you.
The Wings may be taking a breather today, but there's no rest for the DSR. Coming up after Arena Football, we've got 30 minutes dedicated to the best team in the NHL. We're looking ahead with Ken Holland and reminiscing with two Hockeytown icons after the game.
CG USA. It's the biggest music event of the year. Every week, the most exciting acts in the world, back to back to back, all in one show. Coming up this weekend,
the Jonas Brothers, Buck Cherry, and a whole lot more. CD USA, exclusively on DirecTV.
The world's greatest amateur poker tournament has reached its defining moment. The finals of the UltimateBet.net Poker Challenge. Sunday on FSN. For more information, log on to UltimateBet.net.
Welcome back. Halftime as we continue on the Champs Halftime Report. Dragons leading the Rampage 22-17. 20th anniversary of the AFL, and part of that celebration includes some of the greatest highlights of the league. AFL highlight number 11, Aaron Garcia, over 700 career touchdowns. Let's take a look at a great performance by the Dragons quarterback.
The arena. The 20 greatest highlights countdown. Number 11. In 2001, New York Dragons quarterback Aaron Garcia enjoyed a prolific passing day against the Carolina Cobras. Garcia completed 27 of 37 passes for 378 yards as the Dragons scored 99 points. Garcia and prime target Kevin Swain seemed unstoppable as Aaron set his sights on a milestone mark.
Going to the end zone for the record. There it is. Touchdown for Aaron Garcia. His 11th touchdown pass of the day. A new Arena Football League record. And for Kevin Swain, his 7th touchdown reception of the day.
Final score, New York Dragons 99, Carolina Cobras 68. But the moment belonged to Aaron Garcia of the Dragons. Tune in again next week as the AFL 20 Greatest Highlights Countdown continues.
757 career touchdown passes for Aaron Garcia, 11 of those in one game on July 7th, 2001. 22-17, Dragons lead the Rampage. Back with more of the Champs Halftime Report from Nassau Coliseum after these messages on FSN.
Thank you for calling ADT Security Services.
I just wanted you to know that security system saved me twice.
You all have given me peace of mind.
I tell everybody I see, get an ADT security system.
Like these customers and millions more, you'll feel more secure with ADT in your home. ADT can help protect your family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save up to $200 on an ADT protection package. You may even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
Hey! So, what have you been up to?
Nothing. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
Breathe, honey. That's
Centennial. Hey, are the calls I get really...
Hurry. Yep, what's Centennial's Blue Region plan?
What if I choose one plan? I need a different one later.
You can change plans anytime.
No penalties?
No, sir. You see, with Centennial...
Hello? Having a baby?
Centennial's Blue Shirt Advisors, recognized everywhere as the most trusted and knowledgeable people in wireless.
Now from Centennial, text the word Nokia to 49446 for a chance to win weekly grand prize vacation packages worth $3,000 or great daily prizes. Centennial Wireless. Relax.
Welcome back to Uniondale. Here on Long Island, the Dragons with a 22-17 halftime lead over the Grand Rapids Rampage. Arena Football on FSN. I'm Bob Wischusen here with Wayne Morris on the halftime report. Welcome back, everyone. We appreciate you joining us in a very, very low-scoring first half by both team standards.
Well, the defense has stood up and played very well. The key has been pressure. Both teams able to get pressure. Grand Rapids, 3 sacks in the first half. New York, a couple of sacks, a safety, and that's been the difference. A couple of turnovers, but it's really the defense has really played very well. And, you know, it's a low-scoring game, but it's arena football, so the second half's yet to come. We still may end up with a 60-59 ball game.
And a kickoff return for a touchdown as well, as Maurice Brown had a very big first half for the New York Dragons, getting it done through the air first and then later on special teams.
You see Brown maybe moving the pocket as he's been under pressure. You see Maurice Brown doing a nice job along the end line. And here, Martinez didn't get the ball off the net, and then he misses the tackle, and Maurice Brown went untouched to the end zone.
And then welcome back to the New York Dragons, Bruce Blue.
And Bruce Blue getting a good swim move off the fullback and able to get quick pressure and get Salisbury for the safety. And then right here you see kick out of a tackle, and the big fella showing good quickness, getting a block downfield, able to fight through a face mask and get in the end zone.
Well, the first half numbers, as we said, certainly indicative of the fact that this is not your average arena football game, at least to the first half. These are two teams that average 48 points per game for Grand Rapids, 56 for New York, and the 48 points for Grand Rapids puts them in the bottom few of the league, and they manage not even 20 in the first half.
Well, they've been struggling all season with consistency on offense, especially inside the red zone. But you see what's going on right now. It's a close ball game, and for both head coaches, what they're preaching in the locker room right now is to take care of business. The Dragons need to cut down on the penalties, and Grand Rapids needs to execute a little bit better offensively.
Only 88 total offensive yards for New York in the first half, only 6 first downs, but still good for the league. When we come back, the second half kickoff on FSN. Don't go away.
Here in Vegas, the action is heating up at the poker tables.
Come on, guys. Which game are we playing here? The Arena Bowl's down the street.
This June, the AFL's championship game, Arena Bowl 20, is playing Vegas. Don't miss the party. For tickets, call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
I cannot believe I'm losing to a bunch of mascots.
It's television's most prestigious fishing tournament. FLW Outdoors.
Look at the bend in that rod.
The ultimate weekly challenge in competitive fishing.
Woo! Huge fish.
Follow the world's top anglers as they go head-to-head in a race to hook the day's most elusive catch. And battle it out for the right to be crowned world champion. FLW Outdoors, tomorrow on FSN.
It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. From the East Coast to the West Coast and beyond. It doesn't matter who you are when you do what we do.
New York leads Grand Rapids 22-17. This has been the Champs Halftime Report, the official athletic retailer of the AFL. Champs Sports. Stop by your local Champs Sports store to hook up with the latest styles in footwear, apparel, accessories, and official AFL team gear. To find a store nearest you, log on to champsports.com today. And Bill Daughtry is standing by with a Rampage head coach, Sparky McEwen. Bill?
With head coach Sparky McEwen, your club, an interesting first half, but I guess you want more out of your offense.
Well, we could have played a lot better there in the first half, and we're very fortunate to be only behind a few points right now. Our defense is playing great. You know, we feel like we have this thing under control. We've settled our quarterback down, and we're going to be ready to go here in the second half.
You got a little animated with him at one point in the first half. What'd you tell him?
Well, I told him he's got to settle down. You know, it's not him. You know, he's a good football player. You know, this guy is well-respected in the Arena Football League, and he's had a great season thus far. So we're looking for him to come back here in the second half and just do well for us.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Let's go back to Bob and Wayne.
All right, Bill, so a bounce back looked for from Sparky McEwen for Chad Salisbury, but it's going to be Nick Browder that starts the second half with the football. As New York deferred the opening coin toss, they won the coin toss, opted to kick, so they start the second half with the ball and a 6-point lead and a chance to maybe put a bit of a stranglehold on the game.
And that's why you see a lot of teams defer the opening coin toss so they can have this situation to start the third quarter. But if you don't score and take advantage of the opportunity, it's wasted.
High off the net, bouncing down over Brown's head, and it's a loose football. Still loose at the 5. And covered up by Deshane Dennis just inside the 5 at the 4. Well, there is another example of how good things can happen if you're the kicking team, if Peter Martinez can get the ball to the net.
You're absolutely right, and because even though this is New York's home field, every time they construct these nets before the game, it's different. So you got to get out there before the game and try to figure it out. Sometimes they don't get them wound as tight and the ball comes off a little soft. Sometimes they wind them real tight and it comes off real hard. So it's very difficult to get accustomed to even your own home nets because they're different every week.
It's a very interesting point. Grand Rapids in the road white, the Dragons in the home black. 1st and 10 New York at their own 4-yard line. And New York putting up only 22 points in the first half. A quick hitter to Horacek, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And if you were to look at one or two things that you think New York needs to improve upon, especially offensively in the second half, what would they be?
Well, protection, without a doubt. He's been under heavy pressure throughout most of the first half. And if they can get the protection settled down, then they can find time to get the ball downfield to those great receivers, and that's what they really need to do. And the second thing would be to cut out on the penalties on the offensive side of the ball.
2nd down and 10 from the New York 4. Kevin Swain in motion. To the near side, it's Estrada. Makes a man miss. Picks up about 5 yards. Out to the 9. So it will be 3rd down and 5. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. New York holding on to a 5-point lead.
And believe it or not, this could actually be two down territory for New York, depending on what the next play is. And you'll see they'll shoot for the sticks here, because what Grand Rapids doesn't want to do is give up the length of the field, give up a deep ball. So teams tend to protect the deep end of the field and allow you to complete something underneath in this situation.
Estrada to the top of your screen. Swain at the bottom, Horacek in motion. 3rd and 5. 4-man rush, better protection, and that sets up Horacek. A 1st down into Grand Rapids territory. Well, that time the protection was there for Nick Browder, and he delivered.
Yeah, and if you're going to play the type of coverage that Grand Rapids played in this play and you don't get the pressure, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have a man free. See Horacek at the top of your screen. He gets by Taylor off the jam right off the line of scrimmage, and you're going to see Taylor in a chase position the entire way. Horacek does a good job of maintaining his concentration, and he had a little bit of a juggle as he went out of bounds.
Nick Browder was a backup for the Rampage back in 2001 and 2003. And a little screen flip. The ball loose in the end zone. Touchdown. Estrada recovers the fumble. What a break for New York. Jamal Sherry rumbled down deep into Grand Rapids territory, lost the football. So the Rampage defense just about forces a turnover, and it turns into 6.
He gets hit from behind right there, but give the credit to Stacey Evans. You're going to see him flashing into the picture right there. He takes the ball away from a Rampage player, which allows Angel Estrada to jump on the ball. So if you're Angel Estrada, a couple of cheeseburgers, a sandwich or two for Stacey Evans at the end of the game. He'd be happy about that as he took away that touchdown.
Movement in the line as Tito Simpson jumped.
Neutral zone infraction, number 91. That penalty is declined. We're still on the try.
So Estrada was Johnny on the spot for the New York Dragons, and Obert on to attempt the extra point as New York opportunistic. Things going New York's way tonight to give them a 12-point lead. Low snap, put down, and he misses. So the second missed extra point attempt by Obert, and New York will have to settle for an 11-point advantage with 11:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter on FSX.
Arena football, demonstrated by Kurt Warner and John Elway. Arena quarterbacks pass almost every play. Score so high you'll need oxygen. Running for the sidelines? What sidelines? Offense also plays defense. Oh, one more thing. The field, only 50 yards long.
The Arena Football League, Season 20. Now playing at an arena, television, or computer near you.
Oh, hey, honey.
Hey. So, what have you been up to?
Nothing.
What have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
In competition, injuries happen. It's part of the game. And to get back your level of performance takes a lot of hard work, discipline, and the best health care. Health South is the nation's leading provider of outpatient diagnostic, surgery, and rehabilitation services. So we can help you get back fast to the action, the competition, and the glory. We know your body. We understand your spirit. We get you back.
This telecast is copyrighted by the Arena Football League for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the AFL's consent is strictly prohibited.
There have been points scored in strange ways in our game tonight here at the Nassau Coliseum, but as things stand right now with 11:42 to go in the third quarter, it's an 11-point lead for the New York Dragons over the Grand Rapids Rampage. Obert set to kick off, but once again, it's Timon Marshall back deep to receive for Grand Rapids. And another good kickoff by Obert. High off the net. Tough to field for Marshall, and he loses it out of the back of the end zone for another touchback.
And that's an opportunity for Marshall to get his hands on the ball, something he's been able to do. Right here, you're going to see the replay here, and this is one of the things I love about this league is watch all the big guys chase the quarterback out in front for the Dragons, and Bryant Shaw coming from behind, and then another big guy, Stacey Evans, trying to get in the mix. And that's one of the things you see. The linemen on both teams are very athletic, and they continue to play throughout the play and chase down the ball. And if it wasn't for the big guys right there, we wouldn't have had that excitement. So you got to love the big guys. You're getting it done. These guys stay in great shape.
So the Dragons get a big break as they take over an 11-point lead and a timing pattern, streaking down the left sideline, unaware that the football was there. But a flag thrown as Anthony Hines, the intended receiver, was held up by Will Holder. Or check that to Shane Dennis. So Dennis will be flagged either for holding or pass interference.
He was in a chase position the entire time. Anthony Hines did a good job at the line of scrimmage of winning.
On the play. Contact was not restrictive. Pass not catchable. Second down.
An uncatchable ball, and the Dragons catch another break. And certainly, if you would have to look at the lucky moments of tonight's game, things have gone New York's way.
Well, absolutely. Right there, you can see clearly Shane Dennis grabbing the right arm of Anthony Hines with the official rule that it didn't slow him down, and that's a judgment call, and Sparky McEwen is not happy. You're going to say right here, you know, watch his left hand. He's going to grab him once, and I think he gets him again right there. The official saying, I don't know how you can make that call. The ball bounced about a yard away.
Once again, going for it all this time for Marshall. Intercepted by Holder. Touchback, and New York takes over.
And he put that one on Salisbury. The ball is underthrown because Marshall had a step. And Will Holder, one of the great things he does as a wide receiver, now having to play that strictly defensive position, is that he's able to break on the ball. He turns into a receiver right there and makes a tremendous interception.
Dragons football when we come back. They lead by 11 early on in the third.
Aaron's sells more high-definition widescreen TVs than just about anybody else in America. It's the sign of a great deal. Aaron's has the widescreen and LCD flat-panel TVs that everybody wants, all at the price everybody wants, the guaranteed lowest price. Aaron's also sells brand-new, brand-name furniture, appliances, and computers at the guaranteed lowest price. No credit check and the most flexible payment plans. So picture yourself getting your next TV at Aaron's. Do the math. Nobody beats Aaron's.
Here in Vegas, the action's heating up at the Arena Football Celebrity Table.
Let's go, Coach. Hey, pipe down, poker brat. I bet 100. Make it 300.
He cannot do that.
Illegal procedure, Ditka.
What'd I do?
Personal foul, Ditka.
What are you talking about?
You're out of here.
You're nuts.
This June, the AFL's championship game, Arena Bowl 20, is playing Vegas. Don't miss the party. For tickets, call 1-866-AFL-TICKS.
Go, Wade.
I'll give you out of here. Security.
Ted Ferguson, Bud Light Daredevil.
Today for a Bud Light, I'll attempt a stunt that no man should ever perform. I'll go shopping with my girlfriend during today's game.
This stuff is so cute. I'm gonna go try it all on.
Hey, time. You.
Hey!
Oh, he's down.
Can you hear me? Everybody focus. All right. Get it off. Clear. Who's winning?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Welcome back. Arena Football on FSN here at the Nassau Coliseum. And Will Holder with a great interception a moment ago. Step-for-step coverage. And the Dragons have the ball back at their own 5-yard line. 10:32 remaining here in the third quarter. And New York on top. 28-17, an 11-point lead. But really, the news bulletin holding any team in the Arena League to 17 points through what, after this drive, might be the midway point of the third quarter. Back to throw Browder. Wide open on the far side is Estrada, and he is close to a first down.
And actually, Bob, earlier this season, Kansas City was held to 19 points by Georgia, in Georgia. And that is just, if you're an offensive coordinator for that game, you might want to hand in your clipboard, because that is, in this league, I mean, that is just, you stumble into points as we've seen already. I mean, it's hard to imagine being a part of an offensive group that only can put up 19 points. So right now, Grand Rapids is not having a good moment.
The handoff to Richard McCleskey. And that guarantees the Dragons a fresh set of downs. He picks up 3. Needed only 1 with 9:25 to go now here in the third quarter. And Bill Daughtry is standing by down on the field. Bill, my idol.
With Will Holder. Will, what happened on the interception?
Oh, what happened was they tried to go deep on me. Guy tried to run a deep post. I thought I had him covered pretty well, but the quarterback thought he could get it in there by throwing up the deep field shoulder. I just played the ball, took it away from him.
You play both sides of the ball. Which side do you like best?
Defense.
Well, it paid off right there. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's going to pay off again, too.
All right, let's go back upstairs.
All right, Bill, thanks very much. That ball was apparently a lateral, as most of the players, after it was dropped on the initial incompletion, stopped playing. Kevin Swain finally recovered.
Pass, recovered, offense, second down.
And it was a loss all the way back to the Dragons' 8-yard line.
Yeah, I think everybody thought that Johnny Harris, once he dropped the ball, it was incomplete, because he stepped in front. He was all over this play, almost had an interception. But apparently the officials ruled it was behind the line of scrimmage, behind the receiver, so therefore a lateral. And a lot of people have an opportunity, but Kevin Swain never stopped on the play.
That's another big break for the Dragons. Twofold, that Harris lost the ball initially, and that his teammates, most notably Marvin Taylor, stopped playing and let what was a loose ball lay on the turf. Swain misses one over the middle. A flag down back in the box. Well, Stacey Evans is pointing at Greg Scott.
Number 34 in the defense. Outside rush. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And another break for the Dragons. A second down at over 20 turns into an automatic first.
And Kevin Swain almost makes a terrific catch. But one of the things about the indoor game is when you receive it, there's no toe tapping and leaning out of bounds and making the catch, because you can see right here, you got the barrier of the wall, and you can see Avery, and he's complaining that Browder broke the pocket, but clearly he's wrong, because Browder went straight back, and you can see Avery, as the lineman got washed inside, took the outside rush.
A rock check down the sideline to the 13. Pulled down by Marshall. 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and New York back in business.
And this play is simply about coming out and making a stop if you're Josh Bush, because really what this play is the extension of the running game, because there's not a lot of running. It's just a quick hitter, and here comes Bush, mission to tackle, his head down, and Timon Marshall doing a great job coming out of that jack linebacker position, out of the box, and chasing down the play, saving a touchdown.
So many things have gone wrong for Grand Rapids tonight. Still in the game, no, down by only 11. Browder with time. Estrada, touchdown.
And you're going to see another missed tackle. This time, Marvin Taylor had a chance to bring him down at the 5-yard line, and he blew the tackle. And that's what you can't do. If you're going to play good coverage over the top downfield, see Browder does a good job checking down, taking the underneath route. You see Marvin Taylor right there just whiffing. And then the rest is Angel Estrada just getting a lot of effort at the goal line. But you can't, once you get inside the red zone, you can't miss tackles like that.
Obert has missed a pair of extra points tonight. This attempt is good. 35-17. The Dragons on top with 6:18 remaining in the third quarter. The extra effort by Angel Estrada. Another score for New York.
Come into any Aaron Sales and Lease ownership store and you'll find brand new, brand name furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers. Always at the guaranteed lowest price, whether you buy or lease to own, and no credit checks. So, do the math. Nobody beats Aaron's.
Do the math.
Nobody beats Aaron's.
Hey. So, what have you been up to?
Nothing. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
An 18-point lead for New York midway through the third quarter. And Waylon Harding's team has been opportunistic. I guess Wayne Morris give them credit, as many things have gone wrong tonight for Grand Rapids. It's not as if the New York Dragons have looked a gift horse in the mouth. Every time they've been given an opportunity, they have, for the most part, taken advantage of it. And Angel Estrada scores the latest touchdown.
And they've needed it as they struggled early in this game with protection and penalties on the opposite side of the ball. So, you know, really, when you, as the head coach, any way you can get the lead and hold on to it and win a football game, you'll take it and worry about all the mistakes when you get in the film room during the week. So right now, you're absolutely right. New York's getting all the breaks, and Grand Rapids needs to, they're still in this game, though, Bob, but they need to turn things around very quickly.
Jesse Obert spent last year with Cincinnati of AF2, and he has had a magnificent rookie season kicking for the Dragons. Sends it deep, and Josh Bush brings it out. And he is tripped up at the 15-yard line as a flag comes in. Every flag in arena football, so crucial as well.
Holding 37 on the return. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
You get a holding penalty, anything that's 10 yards. It's the equivalent in the outdoor game of a holding penalty being worth 20 yards. Well, a personal foul in the outdoor game is only worth 15. So if you hold in arena football, it really is a tough penalty for your team.
And that's Johnny Harris, who's got a lot of experience, and that's just a bad play. I mean, you're out there in the middle, right out there in the middle of the field, grabbing a guy's jersey. You got to let him go.
Fumble on the snap, and Salisbury covers up. That's a wasted down and a loss of a half yard. Now the mistakes tonight have piled up. 2 interceptions to go along with 2 touchdowns for Salisbury. And he's also been sacked in the end zone for a safety by Bruce Blue.
And a telltale sign, he's just completing just barely over 50% of his passes. In the Arena Football League, the number you're looking at is mid to high 60s. You look at all the top quarterbacks, they're at a 65% or above completion percentage. So he's not having a good night.
Quick hitter to the near side. Anthony Hines makes the catch, bumped by Dennis after a gain of 5. It will be third down with 5 minutes remaining in the third.
And then the other sign right there, you see a lot of short passes. The Dragons done a great job coming up, making the stop, not allowing Hines and Marshall to use their ability to run after the catch. They're coming up making short tackles. And on the other side, Grand Rapids not doing the same thing, coming up and making the short stop. We saw in the last drive 2 missed tackles by the Rampage defense.
Just across the 10. Four-man rush for the Dragons. Ineffective, and Salisbury delivers. Will Holder with a heavy hit on Anthony Hines, but Hines holds on to the football and picks up the first down.
That's a good job by Hines getting enough of the yardage coming back to the ball, because, as you mentioned, Will Holder was coming quick. And you see right here, he breaks down, and he settles in, and he almost dropped the ball off the hit. Good concentration. Salisbury gets a good lane in the pocket. You mentioned 6'6", able to see over that line and delivers a good strike.
Anthony Hines spent 2 years in AFL 2 before coming to the AFL, as now Bush takes a shovel pass and picks up 9. And for Anthony Hines, in all 4 of those collective seasons, led his team in all receiving categories. And now Josh Bush, who's the only player for the Rampage who has played for them over the last 2 seasons, to catch a pass from all 7 of their different quarterbacks. This is a franchise that has had 7 different players throw passes in 2 seasons, and Josh Bush has caught a pass from them all.
Yeah, the rebuilding is the word there. I mean, they've tried a lot of different people, and Chad Salisbury has settled in and stabilized that position over the last 7 weeks.
2nd and 1. Salisbury throws it away. It'll be 3rd down and 1, and that is a souvenir. This is baseball, folks. In the Arena League, if you come to a game and you catch a ball, you get to keep it. In the NFL or in college football, they'd be asking for the ball back, but in the Arena League, it's all yours.
And I've seen grown men stomp over each other trying to get one of those footballs, and it's nice to see that the young kids are getting a souvenir, ending up with a souvenir, and be able to take that home.
Down in the yard. They run it to Ryan, and he has the first down. So all 320 pounds of Chris Ryan, the Philadelphia Soul's all-time leading rusher. And that moves the chains.
And you can see guys coming up trying to take a part of the body. No one wants to take them head on. They're trying to get them down on, taking a shot at the angle, and it's just a hard thing to do, especially if he's able to get his feet moving, get ahead of steam, and he's done a great job this year running the football.
First and 10 at the 15. Again, it's a handoff, and Ryan pounds for a yard. And a lot certainly can happen. But down 35-17 by 18 points as we close in on the end of the 3rd quarter. You wonder how many time-consuming drives Grand Rapids can afford, considering the fact that just in the average game, their defense, you'd have to think, is going to give up another 10 to 14 points.
And what they're trying to do here is cut this back down to a 2-possession game and before the 4th quarter starts, and you'll see them pick up the pace.
Flags fly, movement in the line, and this will be offsides or encroachment against New York.
Encroachment, 93 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Paul White playing the nose. Again, another inexcusable penalty by the nose tackle. It's the 2nd time. 2nd time tonight the nose tackle from New York has jumped off sides, looking right at the football. Paul White done a good job this year getting after the quarterback, but making a big mistake there.
2nd down and 4. Salisbury to the near side, incomplete, and a flag down. Estrada bumps Marshall and draws the penalty. Pass interference will give another first down.
Number 5 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And it's a tough penalty because Estrada hits Marshall within the 5 yards, but the only problem, the ball was in the air, so he did not locate the football. And he's arguing with the official that he's inside of 5 yards right there. He's pinned him up against the boards. But once that ball's released, you're now at pass interference because you're hitting him well before the ball's thrown. But it's tough. You're within that first 5 yards, and he's doing his job jamming the receiver.
1st and goal, stretching the play. Ryan gets a yard down to the 4-yard line. It will be 2nd down and goal. And fans, you could win a trip to Arena Bowl 20 Las Vegas on June 11th and a shot at $1 million just for watching this game. Go to arenafootball.com and register today. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. citizens 21 and older. And this very well might take us down to the end of the third quarter. We'll see if Grand Rapids can get off one more play before the end of the quarter. Game clock at 5 seconds, and Salisbury will simply let the clock wind down. And we will head to the fourth quarter with Grand Rapids facing second and goal at the New York 3. But the Dragons with an 18-point lead. The final 15 minutes when we return on FSN.
Welcome back to Las Vegas and the Arena Football Celebrity Table. Coach Ditka has the hand to beat. Let's see how poker champ Phil Hellmuth plays it.
I'm all in.
Bluffing, Coach?
Pocket King! Pocket King! Go King!
I fold. Thanks, ladies.
Don't you girls have a game to go to?
Well, Coach, this June, the AFL's championship game, Arena Bowl 20, is playing Vegas. Don't miss the party. For tickets, call 1-866-AFL-TIX.
Now, from Avacor Hair Regrowth, there's today's Avacor. With Boost, that gives you visibly thicker hair with the first application. With today's Avacor, you get twice the benefits.
Thinning hair results from toxic degeneration of the hair follicle. Avacor targets the hair follicle to reverse hair loss, improve blood flow, and stimulate new hair growth.
But don't just take our word for it.
I decided to fight back. I tried Avacor because they give a money-back guarantee. In just 3 months, my hair came back. I was amazed.
Well, I'm 72 years old, and I can tell you honestly, I have a fuller, healthier head of hair now than I did when I was 18 years old. Avacor really worked.
And remember, Avacor Boost will improve your hair's appearance the day you receive your order.
Call now and find out how you can get 3 months of Avacor free with your order. Call 800-339-8449. That's 800-339-8449. 800-339-8449.
FSN ushers in the 2006 edition of the Detroit Tigers.
Way back into left field and gone!
A roar will be heard all the way from Kansas City as the Tigers start the season. While the hometown Royals look for a way to quiet the Big Cats. Tigers baseball is back. Coverage begins Monday at 3:30.
The AFL on FSN is presented by Champ Sports, official athletic retailer of the Arena Football League, and by Las Vegas, home of Arena Bowl 20, Sunday, June 11th. And by EA Sports Arena Football. Football is more fun indoors. Set for the start of the fourth quarter. The next play upcoming for the Grand Rapids Rampage, the 9th play of the drive. It's a drive that has taken over 6 minutes already. They are down 18 points, so this is certainly a must. Second and goal from about the 3. Salisbury lobs one. Incomplete. Intended for Anthony Hines. To Shane Dennis underneath in coverage. It will be 3rd and goal.
Hines makes a nice move at the line of scrimmage to get by Dennis, but Dennis undercuts the route. You can see right there at the tail end of the shot, and he gets a hand in there. That's a good job by Dennis. If he didn't undercut that route, that would have been an easy touchdown for Anthony Hines.
Without question, 2-down territory for Grand Rapids. Should they fail to make it on 3rd down, they'll almost certainly go for the touchdown on 4th down. Trailing by 18. With only 17 points on the board as we start the fourth quarter. The handoff instead, and not getting there was Chris Avery. He came down a half-yard shy. So it will be 4th and goal from the half-yard line.
And if you're wondering why the big fella's not in the game right now, as you switch over into the fourth quarter, you go back to your substitution rules. Avery is the starter. He is the guy that plays more than minutes. So if he doesn't start the quarter, he can only exit the game once, and then he's dead. Therefore, now Avery now starts the quarter. He can come out and come back in for the stretch run. So a very important moment as he changed over. So if you're Grand Rapids, maybe you should have tried to get that last play in and get the running game in with the bigger fullback.
Will they go with Avery on 4th and goal? It's a handoff and a fumble, and Hines won't make it. What a huge turn of events for the Dragons defense. Another miscue. And another moment of frustration for Sparky McEwen as he looks to the heavens and wanders back to his bench as a 10-play drive.
That fumble was charged to the quarterback. The fumble was recovered behind the spot. Spot of the recovery, first down.
Pardon me, an 11-play drive comes up empty.
And That's a tough break, and you can understand the hole was there because Avery led the way, and that's the fumble is going to be charged to Salisbury, but that's Anthony Hines' fault right there. Tried to grab at the football instead of letting the quarterback put it into his gut. You see him right there trying to grab at the right arm, and the hole was there, and he would have been able to walk into the end zone. So
Media
a tough break.
timeout. Media timeout.
We're back in a moment.
The Arena Football League presents the 20 Greatest Highlights Countdown. Number 11. In 2001, New York Dragons quarterback Aaron Garcia enjoyed a prolific passing day against the Carolina Cobras. Garcia completed 27 of 37 passes for 378 yards as the Dragons scored 99 points. Garcia and prime target Kevin Swain seemed unstoppable as Aaron set his sights on a milestone mark.
Going zone for the record. There it is. Touchdown for Aaron Garcia. His 11th touchdown pass of the day. A new Arena Football League record. And for Kevin Swain, his 7th touchdown reception of the day.
Final score, New York Dragons 99, Carolina Cobras 68. But the moment belongs to Aaron Garcia of the Dragons. Tune in again next week as the AFL 20 Greatest Highlights Countdown continues.
A look we've seen in the face of Chad Salisbury more than once tonight. Despondent on the Grand Rapids bench as once again the Rampage failed to convert. 35-17, New York has the football back and the lead with a minute and a half gone by here in the fourth quarter.
And that was a drive, and you see the frustration on Sparky McEwen's face. That was a drive, as you mentioned, 10 plays, eating up all the clock, and they needed to get in. If they got in, it would have cut it to a two-possession game. And again, Grand Rapids just not taking advantage of opportunities, and this is not new. They've struggled in the red zone all season long.
Under pressure from his own end zone, unloading his Browder and completing. Horacek with the catch, very close to a first down. And it looks to be good enough for a New York first down out to the 15-yard line.
And that was awfully close to his safety. And, you know, Tony Kimbrough, the offensive coordinator, was on the field saying, get rid of the ball. He's holding on to the ball. And he finally got rid of it and made a nice throw as Grand Rapids came in with the late pressure. And you see the catch. Good concentration.
And he's still got solid velocity on that ball in spite of being in midair, almost looking like a shortstop, fielding a ball in the hole and trying to throw to first base. Both feet were off the ground when he released it. A draw, breaking a tackle, grinding his way, McCluskey, and then gives it up. The break that Grand Rapids might need to get back in the game, served up by Richard McCluskey. Johnny Harris comes up with the fumble recovery.
And I couldn't tell. It looked like Greg Scott, number 93, chasing the play from behind, was able to get an arm in there. And you see he's fighting. He gets a hand to the face. And no, actually, I'm mistaken. It was Marvin Taylor. Was able to get in there and get the strip.
It didn't look like much of a shot to the football to jar it loose. So maybe a breath of life back in the game for Grand Rapids, trailing by 18 with just over 12 minutes to play. Shovel pass to the outside, taking off Timon Marshall. Close to a first down. A gain of about 7.
There's a nice effort out there, Anthony Hines. The key to that play is the guy out in front making the block, and Anthony Hines actually got 2 blocks on that play. First point of attack, and he was able to get downfield, get another one.
Hines in motion. Salisbury looks deep for it. Way out of bounds and incomplete.
It's dangerous down there. It's hard to slow down. You try to throttle down, but you're chasing the football. You get your eyes on the ball. And you're going to see Hines breaking this route off towards the boards because the defender's high over the top. You don't even see him. His pitcher cuts it 2 flat balls thrown out of bounds.
It's amazing how quickly you run out of space in this league. And certainly the padding looks somewhat substantial from up here on those boards, but you would be the one to attest to how much protection it actually provides. Marshall makes the catch, and he's brought down very close to a first down, and forward progress will give Timon Marshall a Grand Rapids first down. But when you hit those boards full speed, how much padding protection is there?
They have the dasher boards up there, and they want to say it's about a you know, maybe about a foot thick, but really when you're moving at that speed and you into the boards, you learn how to hit it the right way. The shots that hurt the most is when those big linemen drive you into the boards. You get the double hit.
Salisbury, end zone, touchdown. Timon Marshall makes the catch. And at long last for Grand Rapids, they convert and score points and try to squeak themselves back into the football game.
And Timon Marshall kept quiet for most of this game, both on the returns and as a receiver. Comes up with a big play here, and that was a nice throw by Salisbury. Probably the best ball he's thrown all night. You see, he had to fit it into that tight space along the boards, and he was able to get it.
Martinez with the extra point attempt. It's good. So the turnover and the fumble by McCleskey turned into 7 as Salisbury goes deep for the touchdown catch by Timon Marshall.
Arena football, demonstrated by Kurt Warner and John Elway. Arena quarterbacks pass almost every play. Score so high you'll need oxygen. Running for the sidelines? What sidelines? Offense also plays defense. Oh, one more thing. The field, only 50 yards long.
The Arena Football League, Season 20. Now playing at an Arena television or computer near you.
Thank you for calling ADT Security Services.
I just wanted you to know that security system saved me twice.
You all have given me peace of mind.
I tell everybody I see, get an ADT security system.
Like these customers and millions more, you'll feel more secure with ADT in your home. ADT can help protect your family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and save up to $200 on an ADT protection package. You may even save up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. ADT, always there.
Hey! So, what have you been up to?
Nothing. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
Timon Marshall's touchdown catch, getting Grand Rapids back in the game. It's an 11-point advantage for New York, 35-24, 9:52 remaining. And points can be put up in this league like a pinball machine. So 9:52, all the time in the world a team would need to mount an 11-point comeback.
Plenty of time. And here's where you might see an onside kick, Bob, in Grand Rapids trying to get back into the game. A lot of teams do it at this point in the game, which I absolutely disagree with, because you just scored. You got momentum back on your side. The last thing you want to do is onside kick and give New York a chance for an easy score.
Instead, they go deep. And it's a good kick off the net, providing Swain some trouble getting out of the end zone. Nowhere to go. So New York forced to take the touchback to the 5-yard line.
And they put a new rule into the officials' hands. If they feel that the player is purposely trying to stay in the end zone and make it look like an attempt, they have the opportunity of marking it down at the 2.5, which they're doing in this case, because normally that's at the 5-yard line. But if you don't give a real effort, they still penalize you and put you at the 2.5.
So now the job for New York, not only to move out of the shadow of their own goalposts, but try as best they can and eat some clock. Certainly if the Dragons could manage somehow to put together,
timeout.
After calling timeout.
First team charge timeout.
A drive of any length, consuming some time and scoring some points. New York 35, Grand Rapids 24, with 9:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll return on FSN to Uniondale after this.
Why are so many switching to Centennial? Well, for honest advice from our blue shirt advisors and great offers like this.
Now from Centennial Wireless, every day brings a new chance to win great prizes. Text the word Nokia to 4946 for a chance to win weekly grand prize vacation packages worth $3,000. Plus, each time you text, you'll be entered to win daily prizes, like a Nokia phone or free airtime minutes. Only at Centennial Wireless. Relax.
Hey kids, do you like making new friends and having fun? Hey parents, do you want a wide range of positive after-school activities for your kids? Boys and Girls Clubs offer all of these things and more at 14 clubs throughout the school year. Kids 6 to 18 can find out by attending FSN Buddy Days at a Boys and Girls Club near you. For information, call 248-473-1400. FSN Detroit is a proud sponsor of Hope and Opportunity through Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, the positive place for kids.
Meatball on white. Next. You want mustard on that or not? Come on, I haven't got all day here. It doesn't come with peppers. They're extra. Hurry up, pay the lady. Next! Chicken's fresh, I killed it myself. So that's what you want? Next! While we're still young, you know you told me you wanted mustard. Get out of here. Time's up. Back of the line.
Hey, excuse me.
What?
Great sandwich. Thanks.